these spaces, these landmarks that are no longer here or changed significantly, we're calling them cultural ancestors. So we'd like to do memorials based on conversations with Black New Orleanians, memorials that are relevant to the stories, to your stories.
Yep. And so this interview with you is the first out of what we hope to be a whole bunch of interviews with people with Black people who are from all over New Orleans and who are of multiple different generations, so we can get a really broad view of the places that Black people from New Orleans really feel need to be remembered, that they're missing hard, and it's a struggle for them to like drive past the shit every day and be like, that's not there anymore. Or walk past, or catch the bus past, or Uber past, or however the hell you get around.
That is a very hard part of living in this neighborhood again. Definitely. Sometimes I'm just like, oh wow, that's what we're doing, huh? Okay, excuse me, didn't know. Yeah, it's funny. So post Katrina, my family moved to the far out West Bank, West we go. Yes. Avondale, West we go, whatever. And for a long time, because like we didn't lose physical things really. Like we lived in. It's funny, I did not know we were poor growing up. I don't know how I didn't know that, because it was me and my like 7 siblings living in a 2-bedroom shotgun with my parents on the lower 9th ward. And when I got older, I was like, yeah, we were broke. Like everything about that says that we were broke. But at the time that Katrina happened, my parents had already bought the house in Westwego, and they were working on it, and we were working on moving there. And so, and so it wasn't a finished house at all. Like we didn't have floors, it hadn't been painted, we didn't have rails on our like staircase. Like it looks nothing like it did when we first started living there. But because Katrina happened, flooded out our house, everything that was over there was gone. In order to live in the city, we had to live in our unfinished house. And so
it's a trip how there's so many things that are like foreshadowing. So like what happened to St. Thomas and Desire in Florida is like foreshadowing of what has happened to all these other housing developments. And so like the idea that y'all were already working on an unfinished house, and then Katrina happened, and then you're living in an unfinished house. Like so many people were living in unfinished houses in New Orleans after Katrina. Like
yeah, same thing, except we weren't rebuilding the house that we'd been in. And so because we didn't lose things, I think for a really long time I was like, yeah, like, you know, like it's cool, like nothing really too bad happened, you know, like whatever. And wasn't until after I graduated high school, moved to Boston, moved back to New Orleans, I'm talking about like years and years are passing here, and then I went to someone's house deep in the 9th ward, like I was past Franklin. I was halfway to here probably. And for whatever reason, I was like, I'm going to walk back to Canal. I was like, cool. And so I'm walking down St. Claude, walking like through the neighborhood and down St. Claude, and I like have all of these like memories of this space, and basically am reflecting upon what my life was pre-Katrina. And I realized that the thing that I had lost more than anything was family. Not in the sense that like I lost members of my family, they died, but because when I lived in the lower 9th ward, we were constantly surrounded by family. My grandfather lived 2 streets behind us. We lived in a duplex. We had cousins that lived in the other side of the duplex. The house that was next to us to the right, we had more cousins that lived there. We actually knew the people in our neighborhood. I had cousins that lived closer to Chalmette. I had an uncle and aunt that lived closer to the bridge. They lived closer to the across the canal bridge. Had cousins on my father's side who lived closer to that bridge. Like literally my whole family was in this neighborhood at one point. And I realized that post Katrina, that had not happened and probably would not ever happen, because there was no way for like my family to be centralized that way. Like I always saw my cousins growing up, always. Like they literally were my neighbors. And this is both on my father's side and my mother's side. Now I rarely see my stepfather's side of the family. And my cousins who are my age, who I grew up with, One of them lives in the city but doesn't really come around too much because they're, living their life. One of them lives in Texas, and one of them lives in North Carolina. And so it's just like I never see them anymore after us playing Destiny's Child on our porch for like years and years and years. And all of these are things that happened as a result of Katrina, because the cousin lives in Texas. That's where they went for Katrina. And they came back here for a couple years, just a couple years, and then they went back out there. Same thing with my cousin who's now in North Carolina. And my other cousin who isn't around as much because post-Katrina, they started living with and spending time with their grandmother, who they take care of now. And they stay on that side of their family. And so it just like separated us all in that way. My grandfather then moved to Indiana. My cousins, I think cousin Sean, does cousin Sean live in the city? I don't know.
She moved all the way to Gonzales.
Cousin Sean moved to Gonzales. My grandmother, the one who used to live in the Tremaine, moved to Gonzales. Like everyone just like sort of scattered, and they didn't scatter far. They're in other parts of the South for the most part. My uncles live by the bridge. They live in Arkansas now. And so it's like you see them on holidays if they want to make that drive kind of thing, or you don't see them for years and years. I saw my cousin Noonie, who lives in North Carolina, for the first time in so many years, since we were teenagers, probably since like me living in Boston, possibly before this Christmas that just passed. And it was like, whoa, like I've not seen you in ages. I literally do not ever see you.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah. So that is like, that was the moment, that walking back and me being like, remember when I went to this corner store with my sister? Remember when me and my cousins were doing some crazy stuff that we weren't supposed to be doing? Remember when we came all the way over here? Remember my older brother used to climb on the St. Claude Bridge and wait for it to come down? Wait for it to go up and then come down? Boys in the neighborhood used to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was reckless.
That's
teenagers.
That's some wild reckless right there.
Teenagers. Anyway, but yeah, I was like, oh man, remember all those things? And I was like, man, all these stories have in common? My family was there. And like after we moved to Oswego, like when we had big parties, family would come over, or family that lived in JP, mostly my Aunt Karen, would like come over occasionally, but like wasn't really that. It was just like me and my brothers and sisters, and we didn't interact with our neighborhood. And I think part of that was we don't interact with our neighborhood. At one point we were the candy lady, so people would like come to our house and stuff. We just, thanks to family, we just be selling food to other people, but we used to sell snowballs and stuff out of one of our downstairs rooms.
And frozen cups too. Right?
And frozen cups, of course, because when you have the leftover syrup, you make the frozen cups.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I was the candy lady at the age of 13, which is funny because the candy lady is usually somebody's grandma. That's how we made our school clothes money. And so, like, we knew more people then. But even now, I could not tell you. I could probably name 3 streets in that neighborhood. One of them is the one my parents live on. There's Glendella, Bishop.
In the Ninth Ward?
No,
in Westwego.
In Westwego.
Sorry.
And I think there's one called Church. I think there's a Church Street.
So you moved to Westwego post-Katrina?
Post-Katrina, right after Katrina, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
And then just scattered family.
The whole family scattered.
Yeah. And then everybody went their separate ways. But it's cool, like, and it's crazy now, 10 years later, people are starting to come back, and now they're spread out across the West Bank because they can't afford to live in the city. And it's just like, that's why I was like, it'll never happen again, because it's like, one of my aunts is in Boutique. I don't even know the names of these places on the West Bank, but they're in like random.
My other aunt's in Lincolnshire.
What is
Lincolnshire.
That's
I don't even know what it is.
that? Marrero. There you go. Yeah. So like I don't.
All the way in Hineville.
I don't even know where those places are.
Hineville, hella far.
I don't even know where those places are.
I'm sorry, this new one is Hineville, Beaucoup Far.
It's Beaucoup Far. It's far.
Probably like an hour and 20 minutes away from here.
That's crazy. So yeah, and so that's the New Orleans that I don't have anymore.